Beloved one, if you have been feeling that your heart is tired in a way that sleep alone cannot heal, remain here for a moment and listen, because something sacred is taking place within you now. The burden you have carried for so long is beginning to loosen its hold, and the part of you that has been silently asking for freedom is finally being heard. You have carried memories that you rarely speak about, questions that have remained unanswered, disappointments that you learned to hide, and emotions that you convinced yourself were no longer important simply because time had passed. Yet the soul does not measure healing by the number of years that have gone by. Sometimes something can happen long ago and still live quietly within the heart until the day you are finally ready to see it differently. Perhaps there is a moment from your past that still makes you wonder what you could have done differently. Perhaps there is a person whose name still awakens an emotion you thought you had released. Perhaps there is an old dream that you stopped believing in because disappointment became easier to tolerate than hope. Perhaps you have spent years trying to become strong enough that nothing could ever hurt you again. But beloved one, I, Archangel Zadkiel, come to you with the violet light of transformation to remind you that true strength is not the absence of feeling. True strength is the ability to feel deeply without allowing pain to become the ruler of your life. You do not have to erase your past. You do not have to pretend that everything happened for a reason you can immediately understand. You do not have to call painful experiences blessings before you are ready. You are simply being invited to stop carrying them as evidence against yourself. Beloved one, there is a difference between remembering your past and living inside it. Your memories may remain, but they do not have to dictate your future. You can remember what happened and still choose peace. You can acknowledge that someone hurt you without allowing their actions to determine how you see yourself. You can accept that a chapter ended without spending the rest of your life trying to rewrite its final page. You can grieve what you wanted without believing that your life can never contain anything beautiful again. This is the beginning of release. Beloved one, perhaps one of the heaviest burdens you carry is the belief that you should have known better. You look at certain decisions and wonder how you could have ignored the signs. You wonder why you stayed, why you trusted, why you waited, why you gave another chance, why you remained silent, or why you did not recognize the truth sooner. But beloved one, your former self did not possess the awareness you have today. You cannot demand that the person you were years ago possess the wisdom you gained through the experiences that followed. You learned because you lived. You became discerning because you were once uncertain. You became stronger because you once felt powerless. Do not use your growth to punish the person who needed that growth in the first place. Offer compassion to the version of yourself who was simply trying to find a way forward. Beloved one, forgiveness is not always about another person. Sometimes the deepest forgiveness is the forgiveness you offer yourself. You may need to forgive yourself for trusting someone who did not deserve your trust. You may need to forgive yourself for staying too long. You may need to forgive yourself for leaving too soon. You may need to forgive yourself for words spoken during moments of pain. You may need to forgive yourself for opportunities you did not recognize. You may need to forgive yourself for not being the person you thought you should have been. Release the impossible standard. You are human. You are learning. You are evolving. There is no sacred requirement that you understand everything immediately. Beloved one, you have also carried the weight of other people's expectations. You may have learned to measure your life according to what others consider successful. You may have believed that you needed to achieve certain things by a certain age, have certain relationships, possess certain material things, or follow a path that made sense to everyone around you. Yet your soul does not live according to someone else's timetable. What if the life that brings you peace is different from the life that impresses others? What if your greatest achievement is not becoming someone everyone admires, but becoming someone you can finally respect when you are alone with yourself? What if success is not simply how much you accumulate, but how deeply you live? Beloved one, there is no shame in wanting a quieter life. There is no shame in changing direction. There is no shame in discovering that the dream you once pursued was not truly yours. You are allowed to redefine success. You are allowed to choose meaning over appearance, peace over competition, authenticity over approval. The moment you stop living to prove something, an enormous amount of energy becomes available for living. Beloved one, perhaps you have recently felt an unusual desire to simplify. You may want fewer distractions, fewer superficial conversations, fewer obligations that drain you, and fewer relationships that leave you questioning your worth. Listen to that desire. It may be part of your awakening. You are becoming more aware of the difference between what fills your life and what merely fills your schedule. Not everything that occupies your time deserves a place in your future. Some things must be released simply because they no longer belong to the person you are becoming. Beloved one, release does not mean rejection. Release means allowing something to complete its purpose. A season can end without being meaningless. A relationship can end without being a failure. A dream can change without being a disappointment. A version of yourself can disappear without needing to be mourned forever. You are allowed to thank what once served you and then continue walking. Beloved one, you may have been waiting for an apology before allowing yourself to heal. But there are times when the apology never comes. There are people who cannot give you what they do not possess within themselves. They may never understand the depth of their actions. They may never admit what happened. They may tell the story differently. And if your healing depends upon their acknowledgement, you remain tied to them. Your freedom begins when you can say, I know what I experienced. I know what I learned. I know what I choose now. You do not need another person's permission to move forward. Beloved one, this does not mean that you must excuse harmful behavior. Forgiveness is not approval. Compassion is not permission. Releasing resentment does not mean inviting someone back into your life. You can forgive internally and still maintain a boundary externally. You can release hatred without restoring trust. You can wish someone healing from a great distance. This is wisdom, not weakness. Beloved one, there is also a burden created by constantly worrying about the future. You have imagined scenarios that have not happened and then emotionally suffered through them as though they were already real. You have rehearsed conversations that may never occur. You have feared losses that have not happened. You have tried to prepare yourself for every possible disappointment. But beloved one, preparation has a limit. Beyond that limit, preparation becomes fear disguised as responsibility. You cannot control every future possibility. You can only control how consciously you meet what actually arrives. Trust yourself to respond when the moment comes. You have already survived uncertainty. You can survive it again. Beloved one, the future does not need the exhausted version of you who spends every moment trying to prevent pain. It needs the present version of you who knows how to remain grounded when life changes. You are becoming that person now. Beloved one, imagine for a moment placing every burden you have been carrying into the hands of the divine. Not because your problems will instantly disappear, but because you no longer need to carry them every second of every day. Imagine saying, I have done what I can. I release what I cannot control. Then breathe. Let your shoulders soften. Let your heart rest. There are things you can solve, things you can influence, things you can accept, and things you must release. Wisdom is knowing the difference. Beloved one, I invite you to repeat these words within your heart. I release the guilt that does not belong to me. I release the shame of my past. I forgive myself for what I did not know. I release the need to be understood by everyone. I release the need to control every outcome. I allow old pain to become wisdom. I allow my heart to become lighter. I welcome peace into places where fear once lived. I am free to begin again. Beloved one, do not be surprised if emotions arise after you make this declaration. Sometimes when you finally allow yourself to release something, you first become aware of how long you have been carrying it. Tears may come. Memories may surface. You may feel tired. Allow the process to unfold gently. You do not need to force healing. Your soul knows how to move when you stop demanding that it move according to a schedule. Beloved one, there is a new relationship waiting for you with your own heart. You are learning to trust yourself again. Perhaps there were times when your intuition warned you and you ignored it. Perhaps you chose what looked safe rather than what felt true. Do not punish yourself for this. Instead, begin listening now. Your intuition becomes stronger through practice. Pause before decisions. Notice your body's response. Notice whether something creates expansion or contraction. Notice whether you feel peaceful after saying yes or relieved after saying no. You do not need to make every decision based on emotion, but you should stop treating your inner world as irrelevant information. Beloved one, the burden you are releasing may also include the belief that you must save everyone. You have perhaps spent years trying to help people who were unwilling to help themselves. You have carried their emotions, their problems, their disappointments, and sometimes their consequences. But beloved one, love does not require you to become responsible for another person's entire journey. You can support without carrying. You can encourage without rescuing. You can love without losing yourself. This is especially important as you enter a new chapter. Your energy must become more intentional. Beloved one, what you release now will create space for what is waiting to enter. You cannot receive new peace while constantly feeding old resentment. You cannot hear new guidance while surrounding yourself with endless noise. You cannot recognize new opportunities while remaining emotionally attached to every door that closed. Release is not emptiness. Release is preparation. Beloved one, there is something beautiful on the other side of this process. It is not necessarily a perfect life. It is a lighter relationship with life. You will still encounter challenges, but they will not have the same authority over you. You will still experience disappointment, but you will recover more quickly. You will still meet people who misunderstand you, but you will no longer automatically question your worth. You will still face uncertainty, but you will trust yourself more deeply. This is what freedom feels like. Beloved one day you will look back and realize that the thing you thought you were losing was actually the weight you were finally allowed to put down. You will understand that the ending created space. You will understand that the waiting strengthened you. You will understand that the silence taught you to listen. You will understand that the unanswered questions forced you to develop your own wisdom. And you will realize that you were not being denied. You were being prepared to receive without repeating the same patterns. Beloved one, I, Archangel Zadkiel, surround you with the violet light of transformation and remind you that nothing you have experienced needs to become a permanent prison. Your past can become a teacher. Your pain can become compassion. Your mistakes can become wisdom. Your endings can become openings. Your tears can water the ground where new beginnings grow. Do not be afraid to release. Do not be afraid to forgive yourself. Do not be afraid to become lighter. You have carried enough. You have learned enough. You have survived enough. Now allow yourself to live. Walk forward without dragging every old story behind you. Take the lessons, leave the weight. Take the wisdom, leave the shame. Take the love, leave the fear. Take the strength, leave the struggle. Beloved one, your next chapter does not require you to forget everything that happened. It simply asks you to stop allowing yesterday to determine what tomorrow is allowed to become. The burden you have carried is finally ready to be released, and the moment you loosen your grip, you may discover something extraordinary. Beneath all that weight, your heart was still full of light. It never disappeared. It was simply waiting for you to make room for it again.